Now, there is no love. There is no hate like Christian love, but with $100 million, can you fix it? And then at the Super Bowl this year, there were a group of Christians. Well, they thought they could try and fix it, and they had very deep pockets. They stated that they are trying to put these ads up at the Super Bowl with as many eyes as possible, which is why it costs so much to rebrand Jesus. Now, I don't know about you. I'm a little curious about why we need to rebrand Jesus. And the other thing that I guess I get very confused with is, well, let me put it this way. They feel, the people that put this ad together, they feel that these ads, they feel that they have a false negative view of Jesus. They want more people to have a biblical view and open a public discourse. And I guess with these ads, have to say that they are definitely getting a public discourse. Now, with these ads, there's a lot of black and white imagery with people yelling at each other about everything. COVID, to mask or not to mask. Should that even be a question? And there are so many reasons. There are so many reasons we could yell at each other. At first, I thought this ad was about stop yelling. And the people that paid for this ad stated that everyone has do's and don'ts. And this attitude, they want to know and tell everybody that there is a third way to work together. We don't have to, at the end of the day, you don't have to say, I like or even want to have the same view as this other person. But really, why do I have to yell at them? Why can't we just sit down, agree to not agree, and just have a chat? And this ad that says Jesus gets us, I kind of wonder, does Jesus get the ad? Now, it seems that everyone is getting confused with this ad. And along with that, I think they're getting confused with who Jesus is. Now, I want to get into, I guess, more of a biblical view of what Jesus would do in the same circumstances. Let's have a look at Mark 2:13-17. Once again, Jesus went outside the lake, or beside the lake. A large crowd came to him, and he began to teach them. As he walked along, he saw Levi, son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax collector's booth. Follow me, Jesus told him, and Levi got up and followed him. While Jesus was having dinner at Levi's house, many tax collectors and sinners were eating with him and the disciples, and there were many who followed him. When the teachers of the law, who were the Pharisees, saw him eating with the sinners and the tax collectors, they asked the disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" On hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It is not the healthy who needs a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteousness, but sinners." I really wanted to hate this ad. I looked online, it started to pop up with a few other, YouTubers that I watch, and they were saying things like that this ad just didn't get it, or 100 millions is a lot, and And people on the other side were going pretty much the same thing. So I came in with looking at this ad, I guess, from a was a persuasive. They had persuaded me with their attitude, and so when I wanted to watch this, I had that attitude. But then after watching it, the goosebumps, and my wife said, "Oh, that just gives me goosebumps," and there is something about that ad, and like I said, I really wanted to hate it, to say that somehow it wasn't biblical or there was something missing, or unfortunately, we need to hear this message way more in any other time in history. Throughout the Bible, throughout the whole Bible, there is one message. And it's when Jesus says the greatest commandment is to love God with everything and to love others as we would love to be loved. In not loving others, we are not loving God. Now, there is this makes me think of one particular thing, or one particular verse, I should say. Matthew 25:31-46. And I've got to say, it kind of scares me every time I read it. I don't know what you think. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and the angels are with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. And it's at this point in the parable that Jesus is telling, it's at this point that I kind of... I mean, I always thought it was the good and the bad, the sinners and the righteous people. But I kind of think it's not about the sinners at the moment. It's about the righteous and the people that think they're the righteous. And this is why it scares me so much. I will continue. Then the king will say to those on the right, "Come, you who are blessed or blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you? And when... or thirsty and gave you drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needed clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison or go to visit you?" The king will reply, Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the one of the least of these brothers and the sisters of mine, you did for me." Then he will say to those on the left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick in prison, and you did not look after me." They also will answer, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger and needed clothes, or sick or in prison and did not help you? When did this happen?" He will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for not do." Sorry, I'll start that again. He will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me." Then they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life. And this is the biggest question, is what are you doing or not doing for others? Are you loving others as you would love to be loved by others? I mean, I don't know about you, but this verse scares me. And I really do want to be loved by others as much as I want to be loved. So then I need to turn around and do the same. So go do something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in the next one.